How are y'all doing, Boss Kids? Today we have a special guest. We have Mr. Fuller here joining us. We also have the legendary. Go ahead.
Hey, how y'all doing? It's Gregory Martin here, man.
Just going into Mr. Fuller, do you want to tell us a little about yourself?
I mean, I'm just a normal guy doing extraordinary things. That's the best way to explain it. I am a business owner as well as an employee. I own Fuller for the People LLC, but I also work for Teachers Like Me. I get the privilege of just helping people on all angles, especially dealing with educational prosperity, economic progress, and civic relationships.
Well, first and foremost, let's give yourself a clap of applause right now. That's what's up. But you did mention you are working with Teachers Like Me. So can you tell us like the background of it for those who don't know?
Yeah, Teachers Like Me is a nonprofit housed in Kansas City, Missouri. Our goal is to recruit, develop, and retain quality Black educators to the Kansas City area, intentionally bringing up and increasing the number of Black educators serving our students of color, while primarily helping all students too. So it's not just focused on one kid. We know with just one Black male educator, the likelihood of you going and graduating from college goes up by a third. So we just intentionally go out to recruit people to come back to Kansas City, get the support for 3 years, and increase their pedagogy as well as their academics too.
Wow!
Yeah.
What kind of inspired that, being from that area, what inspired that creation of Teachers Like Me?
So I can say Teachers Like Me was created by our president and founder, Dr. Trinity Davis. She's a former assistant superintendent with Kansas City Public Schools, a former tenured professor at Pittsburgh State University. And one day she was doing observations, and what she noticed is that there was a high turnover of teachers, primarily teachers of color. And she said to herself, somebody needs to do something about this. And as she walked out of her observation, she got to the car and she says, I'm that somebody. Right. And so in 2020, she got the support with other fellow nonprofit leaders, educational leaders throughout the Kansas City area, and was able to build out Teachers Like Me, creating the space to support Black educators as they come into it, with the goal of recruiting those that are certified to teach, and then those that are interested to teach as the secondary option. So those that are interested in they study marketing and have a degree, but they really would like to see the opportunity to actually teach creative writing, right? Industry standards, and be able to help support students to get that objective beyond what's in the classroom to what's going to be real world to themselves. So she came up with this idea, and it was really just a solution to a problem.
So my next question would be, like, what challenges do Black teachers face that people outside of education may not realize?
I mean, all teachers are going to face similar challenges, but Black teachers, it depends on what area and what environment you have. So retention of Black teachers is a little bit more challenging than just the average teacher, because you don't have the initial racial impact, right?
Correct.
It's a whole different story when a kid and a parent is calling you the N-word and you really can't say much or do much about it. And what they have the ability to do is there's a cohort of people. So when they're struggling, it's not just them by themselves. They have a whole group of individuals. They can say, hey, this is what happened to me today. And there's going to be somebody that A, experienced it, B, can relate to it, C, can give advice, right? And then when they need advice even further, they have a whole staff. So our president and founder, you already heard her credentials. It's about 28 years in education. Our instructional coach, she has about 22 years. And I just came up upon my 19th year within education. So we are coming in with the angle of really supporting you in a very intentional. We know what we needed, and then we know what you're going to need to get where you're trying to go. And that's just the beautiful thing that we had.
Dear God, it's beautiful.
Yeah, this is definitely important, because me, like I said, I graduated from Ruskin. I was in the Hickman Mills district my whole life, and I could probably count on my hands how many Black teachers I had, and it's even less for how many Black male teachers I had. For all the Boss kids out there that don't know, Hickman Mills is a predominantly Black It's a predominantly black school district. So the fact that there's not a lot of black teachers in these predominantly black school districts is a problem. You know what I mean?
Every day.
I mean, you're speaking to somebody that speaks this truth every day in a way that I live it. I was just at a school board meeting last night, literally less than 12 hours ago, or at least less than 24 hours ago, and we were talking about the percentage, right? So they had 88% black students, 56% teachers of color, right? And that's just looking at where is your representation ratio. So you have about a 20% difference between the number of students and the number of staff members, and that's not instructional, right? We talk about there's a difference between the teacher in the classroom, between the substitute, and between the secretary, janitor, and the cafeteria worker. While all of the roles are important, they support the education of our children, but in reality, the instructional component has a lower percentage.
Right. Totally agree.
So in the state of Missouri, you have 1.1% black male educators, and in the country, we're at 1.7%. So that's just really intentionally going out looking for brothers like yourself and saying, hey, have you thought about teaching, but like, let's really get down to it. What are you trying to do in life? My first question is what you want to do. And then after that, have you considered teaching becomes a question that I ask just in case you haven't thought about it. The beautiful thing is that when people actually go back and reflect on it, they come back and say, hey, I think I want to take this opportunity.
You smart. Very smart.
What kind of advice would you give students, younger, maybe older, that are trying to pursue a career in education?
So first things first, find a way to get your degree and certification. It don't matter which state you're in. Missouri works on reciprocity, so that means it accepts all 50 states. So you can come in with an Alabama certification, you come in with an Arkansas certification, you can come in with a Denver or Colorado certification. The Missouri is going to accept that cert. We even have people that are coming in internationally. So it's that deep. We have the ability, we go through and check your degree first. So your degree has to have equation across the country, but it also has to have that certification behind it. So getting your certification during your early years is the best route to get through it, because it's so much more challenging to be working on certification while teaching full time.
1, 2, 3.
And I say this knowing that there are people that are going through that challenge. And the beautiful thing is if you are doing it by yourself, it's going to be even more. But if you have an organization that's behind you, you have people you can go study with, right? You can go ask those questions. You have extra professional development. So if you're seeking it from an alternative angle, seek an organization that can back you and support you, especially when you don't have the traditional route available to you.
It really feels like you guys are kind of reimagining the relationship between students and teachers. And Greg, you can speak to this as well. I know anytime I did have a black teacher, you felt that level of comfort. It kind of like breaks down the walls that are already up between teachers. Like, oh, I can go to this teacher for this because I know how they're going to react, as opposed to not really understanding. You know what I mean, Greg?
Yeah, but I say mix of both worlds.
Oh.
Yeah.
All my teachers was grammar school, all black teachers. Then went to high school, it's very diverse. Then, now we at college. We got a mixture of both. We got Middle Eastern and African American teachers. So I got best of both worlds and understanding, like, yes, I can understand where you can talk about certain things your teacher do what can't relate to you. So it's like, it's accountability. I'll say that. Like, you want to make sure you want to make sure your teacher is setting that boundary where it's like they make you comfortable with them, talk to them about anything.
Exactly.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, the goal is that you build a relationship, right? As an educator, that's the first thing you need to do with your students. You set your expectations, but that's a part of building your relationship. You got to tell me the boundaries up front. Don't tell me I can't cross the line after I cross the line. Like, tell me what the line is so I can do right. And that way we can be able to work together better. So we do encourage them to build relationships, set solid boundaries and expectations, create your non-negotiables up front so that the students don't push that button, right? Because, you know, at the end of the day, y'all remember y'all had that sub that you was like, dang, that sub is we in here kicking it, yo. And then you also remember you had that one sub.
I totally relate to that.
Y'all remember that one sub that didn't play no games? Y'all was like, man, we got them again. But at the end of the day, you also remember that teacher that came in early, left late, was a part of every organization because you asked. I was that teacher that way for my middle school. I was that way with my elementary. It was whatever the kids needed, I was going to do as much as I possibly can. But that also made it easier for not only that student, but their siblings thereafter. And now I've also been able to say even their children that I've worked with thereafter because they know how I am. They know my ways. It ain't no changing. I don't like none of y'all. I love you, but I don't like none of y'all.
That's right, I said it.
So that's out the gate, number one. You can't find a favorite for me because I don't like none of y'all. And it was just that's just a beautiful thing to see when they get that opportunity. I still got my students are still my students, even though they're grown. They like my students are in their 30s. So it's a beautiful thing to see them grow and then also be able to work with their kids in some capacity. And then I also have students that were in elementary when I finished in the classroom. They're now in high school with educators that I've trained or recruited or trained within Teachers Like Me.
Bravo!
And I'm like, yeah, y'all, I know your mom don't play. Don't come in here messing with my people. I'll call them right now. Like, Messenger is my best friend because I don't have to worry about it. I done recorded it. It came to your mama. Don't play here.
No, definitely. Because I believe that school is just another home from home. And the teachers is just another family member. It just, both of you guys got to set that stand like, okay, I'm comfortable with you, so let's talk about everything.
Aw, that's sweet.
I think as a student, you don't really realize the impact that your teacher has on your life until afterwards. Because I can look back on even back in elementary, some of the teachers had the biggest impact on me by just being there. Not to say they was coddling me or holding my hand, but they was holding me accountable. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
and they didn't do it in a disrespectful way. They did it in a way where I could understand.
So, Ms. Fuller, how do you approach different students? Because you know every student gonna react different. So, how do you approach them?
Good question.
I mean, I'm consistent when it comes to my students. They are. If I tell you that I don't like you, you ain't got to worry about trying to please me for me to like you, kind of thing. That's out the gate. But if I tell you I'm here because I love you, you know for sure I'm being authentic and genuine with you. So no matter what, we've already established this openness that you're going to be able to trust me. Because in love, ain't no trust if there ain't no love, right? Ain't no love, it ain't gonna be no trust. Like this, hey, at the end of the day. But then I also have the ability to create the relationship with their families. My classroom always had an open door policy. No matter what school I was in, your mama can come in, give your mama a seat, give your daddy the seat, give your uncle that seat. They sit down, you here to work. So we have that autonomy. And I tell people one of my favorite lessons that I had an uncle that came in, he was a firefighter, and I'm talking about percentages, and I was talking about the impact of understanding what percent means. And we were looking at, there was a loan facility, a payday loan right across the street. And so I was like, okay, well, let's say y'all need to go across the street. You take out a loan for $1,000, but it's a 33% return. And you think just because you paid back that $1,000, that's the end of it. No, y'all gotta pay 33% on top of that $1,000. So we started looking at what compound interest is, what simple interest is, and really breaking it down so that when they went next door to the algebra class, hey, we got some more questions. I'm hitting you with the real world. And that uncle was sitting there in the chair next to his niece, Tap, tap, tap on the shoulder. Let me get a piece of paper. Tap, 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 tap. Give me a pencil. And the uncle's taking notes right along with the niece.
Wow. Yeah.
He's like, hey man, no one explained this in a way that it makes sense for us to say no to go on to get these loans because we didn't understand what percentages were, what interest rates means, and the importance. So you're going to math and trying to say, I don't get it. Well, my job is to make you be able to see it and take the opportunity to learn it in a more impactful and efficient way. So they were able to go next door to algebra after just having a study hall and be able to engage in a conversation at a deeper level beyond the surface of this is the equation. So building a relationship out of love, you're going to share the nuggets that they need, even though they ain't ready for it. So just, being upfront about it, and that's the beautiful thing I had.
Yeah.
The right way. And I want to say thank you.
It's thank you, because y'all the ones that asked for the interview, so I'm always happy to do it.
Is there any social media that they should join or follow or get a part of?
I say you can follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook. So there's ways. If you go to our website, it usually pops up and shows different ways to connect with us. But in essence, we are on social media, and then also LinkedIn for those y'all Boss Kidz. So y'all know LinkedIn is high level. Don't play. Connect on there. Connect with me on LinkedIn.
So get y'all LinkedIn's correct. Get those Instagrams business-like, and then tap in with teachers like me. Greg, you want to do your first closeout?
Y'all be blessed. More success to y'all this year. And it's teachers like me.
Teachers like me. Thank you so much, Mr. Fuller. Teachers like me times Boss Kidz. We did this.
The right way.
Hey, Boss Kidz Inc. family. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Before you go, we have a small favor to ask that could make a huge difference. As a nonprofit, Boss Kidz Inc. relies on the support of generous people like you to keep our mission going strong. Every donation, no matter how small, helps us create more amazing content, empower young leaders, and grow this incredible community. You can find the donation link right below this video. Your support means the world to us. And don't forget to like this video and hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Thank you for being a part of the Boss Kidz Inc. family. We'll see you next time.